Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
To throw on second down. Vernon got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Switch.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Vernon. And he comes back with one complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Let's go.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on second down. Vernon. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to this season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go, baby. Let's
So
go.
here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Ready?
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 76 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Vernon looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we are tied at 7. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. There goes a deep ball, end zone, as his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to do. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack? And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Now right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Packers pick it up. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
On the ready.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Vernon, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fill him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A good pickup there at 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
And well, we've seen nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Vernon. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And Sanders now to return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll drop to throw. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
The pass on first down. Incomplete on the jump ball.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a gain of 34. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And it's a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Throwing to start the drive. Vernon over the middle, it's complete. It's a pickup of 5, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They're going to look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? 300, that means it's going to go out a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 13 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They go to Elliott again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Off play action. Vernon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Packers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Operating from the gun, Vernon. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
And now the Packers get set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and
defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers get a score closer.
Jason Sanders for the extra point.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And the Vikings able to recover. The Hams team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run.
Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw, and this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat.
Hey, let's go. Interception all day, baby. Let's get this.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. The 40. The 20. 10. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. That one may not cost him in the end, but still, obviously something the coach wants to avoid.
Oh, without a doubt. It won't cost the team because of where they are on the scoreboard, but it will cost the player who gave up the football.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will shave one more off this lead. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Airing it out deep for Smith. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw. Vernon. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Vernon. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Vernon. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.